All right, and here we go.
Okay. Where's Brianna? Does she know that we're...
I'm here, I think. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, well, welcome to this week's Go-To training. Today, folks, we'll be talking about our group assignment. So, who will like to go first?
I guess I'll jump in. So should we read the question and then just restate, or just...
Yeah, let's just the question. So the first question is, how did you feel on the animated storytelling, and did you have like an outside article that you had an impact on your understanding of your working with motion?
Okay. My, I guess, takeaway from the animated storytelling was just the importance of like keeping a story journal, because I had no idea what one was prior to reading that, and just knowing how to jot down ideas when you see it that you can maybe put towards your design. Other than that, coming up with a storyboard, I'm not really a planner. I like to just do stuff. I jump right into digital and instead of sketching and stuff like that. So that reading that kind of helped me to realize like I need to plan a little bit more.
Okay.
That's what I took away from it.
Yeah, I think the story journal.
Not quite 5 minutes, but yeah, like I said, I'm more of a freestyle artist. I don't really have a habit of sketching beforehand. The article that I actually chose to, I guess, talk a little bit more about was an article on this website called The Fourth Source, and it was talking about why you should use motion graphics in marketing campaigns. So they were just talking about like how consumers nowadays watch videos before they buy. Like 60% of consumers watch videos before they buy, and video marketing is like pretty much is taking over like infographics. So it's just very important now to know how to do that as a designer. So that was just something that I looked at.
All right. Did Brienne, I heard you wanted to interject somewhere. Yeah. Did you want to add anything to it? I heard you somewhere.
Is Brianna here? I'm confused.
No, she's here. She just had her face cam on.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me, Jasmine?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, Jerry can hear me.
Yeah, I can
Jasmine can't hear me.
Jasmine, can you hear?
No, I can't hear her. I can hear you guys. I don't know why.
So weird.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Well, we'll interpret. Hold on. Maybe no mute audio. I don't know. Well, anywho, did anyone have a say anything else? Go ahead.
No, I was just talking about. I was going to talk about how I used a lot of the storyboarding stuff in the reading. It had a lot of good examples in terms of like the framing and staging the shot. So it was kind of cool to use that. But I did get a lot of ideas from the prolific journal story keeping and stuff like that. So that was kind of cool.
All right.
I can kind of piggyback off of Jasmine. She was talking about animated storytelling and how I pretty much gained similar things that she gained from just looking at some of the stories. The main one was planning and like, not jotting down notes, just letting me get right out there and just get to it. Because normally that's how I make most of my stuff. I just start making it and then boom, I got something like a logo or a flyer. But like with the storytelling, it shows you, okay, take the proper steps. So you can have more than one design just from your simple, storytelling. You can have multiple options. So I like the fact that teaching us how to plan better, stuff like that. As far as like the outside article, I went on this website, Killer Visual Strategies, and I like one of the articles I read was talking about motion graphics and the art abstract, and then it was basically explaining how motion graphics tell stories. I never really thought of that, and then after reading this article and then putting together my week 3 project, the dynamic vision board, I could kind of tell how it was able to tell the story, especially when me and you talked earlier, Kendall, and we were talking about our projects, and you were saying how you kind of feel like you were in the community a little bit, like you don't mind visiting. So I thought that was pretty cool when the article was just saying, motion graphics tell the story. So I could actually relate and see what they were saying now that I'm actually doing the footwork.
Okay. For me, kind of like piggybacking on all you guys, yeah, writing it all down, that was like a struggle for me. It's like, getting my ideas planned out, and then when it's in your head, it's you go with it. Well, writing down frame by frame, and it's like, okay, let me add a camera angle here, or let me add a spin effect here, or maybe I should take away that person here, or like maybe I should zoom in there. And I was like, it gave me more the reason for detail, and like I can add more to it. But then that means I have a lot more to do on the computer, because I can write down whatever I can draw Mozart, but then I have to actually make it in the program. But that's for my outside article. It was just what was it? It was a it's kind of inside design, but it was just going over Connect typography, and it was just I never realized how much we have like motion graphics and stuff. I always think of kind of just for movies and stuff, but it's in movie trailers, it's in movie posters, it's in the app on your phone, a little like ding on a logo, like it's always around you. And so like after reading a book and this article, I've become like more aware of my like surroundings, like noticing stuff and like wondering like, oh, how did they do that, how did they do this, or like trying to like better myself, and just taking notes of the professionals, or the ones that are making money at it.
I agree totally. Well,
you can hear it.
I really can't hear Brianna. That is super unfortunate. I can hear you guys, see you guys, but I cannot even hear her.
I don't know. That's weird.
I don't know why. I don't know if I have my settings wrong.
You guys can still hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. Derek and I can hear you. But
I just tried to like go out and back in and see if it worked, but nothing didn't work.
You still can't hear Jasmine?
Nope, I can't hear her at all.
Settings.
We'll relate what she says.
Okay.
We'll try.
Maybe I should hang up. Like, I wonder if I can hang up and come right back in. Will that change anything?
Brianna, can you hear all three of us?
I can hear all three of you just fine. Yeah.
Okay.
So she can. Okay, I'm gonna try to hang up and come right back in.
Okay. I should just join back.
I'm trying to get my video to work, but that's not working either. So I don't know what's going on.
Are you on a phone, a computer?
On the computer.
There's
like a couple like privacy settings. It says you have to like restart or something like that.
I don't know if this changed anything.
Hi,
Brianna.
Hello.
Nope.
Nope. That's one.
No, I don't know what's happening.
Oh my God.
It's okay. It is what it is.
All right.
Hi, Brianna. By the way.
So we can go to question. Y'all ready to go to question number 2, or y'all still think we should read number 1?
Do we have to go over the like? Did we go over everybody's individual like links,
so I don't have
something like that?
Well, we did our link. Did you want to go ahead and read
Okay, let me just add mine into the project or.
Oh, you said you already did your. I'm sorry. What did you say, Jared?
My bad. I forgot you can't hear her. Did we already go over the links? I was telling how we had discussed our 3, but she can go ahead and do hers.
Okay. Sorry. I thought we were gonna do that after. All good. I found this link and it was kind of cool. It kind of gives you like really subtle movements and shows you like the differences between the two. And like the first one is like showing the difference if you're designing for Lyft or for Uber. Lyft is like the more friendly design, and it shows like the motion of the dot like comes in more friendly, and then the second dot is like more sleek and professional apparently. So it was just kind of cool to see like just the subtle movements show how different or how motion affects you. So it was a cool little article to like see just little things like that and how they work.
That sounds pretty
I'm looking it over. It actually is very interesting. I never paid that much attention to it, but okay. I posted my link in the group. That's just the article. It goes over all the like typography in movie trailers or like just simple like gifs or like on the websites and stuff, or like ExxonMobil, ExxonMobil's little animation. It just goes over them.
Nice. That's cool.
And I see, Jasmine, you can see on the little chat that she showed you an article she had that you can hear her.
Okay, let me see.
And I guess after that we can go to the next question.
Just putting super faulty for me. I don't know what's going on.
The one you linked, Kendall, is pretty cool. I liked that. Like.
Okay. Well, let me go ahead and include my
their
I'm sorry, guys. Give me just a moment.
But the yes/no one is pretty cool. The one that dips with the liquid.
Yes, that one. Yeah, it's definitely a yes for me. Yes, no, and the logos. It's the shoe brands, but it has like sneakers, Nike, Jordan.
That's cool. Yeah, I just got to that one. Yeah.
Those two are my favorite for sure. Yeah, but I never realized how much like it's around us at all times. Like I always thought, like, oh, it's just some movie trailers. It's just on logos, but then, bam, they're everywhere.
Okay, I did just include my link as well if you guys needed it.
Nice. It's funny though, if you look at your sneakers one and you look at the Jordan logo, you can just see how the small like legs flare just at the end a little bit. It's so cool how like subtle movements like that. Just, like,
sorry. Okay, I'm ready for question 2, Brianna. I hope I'm not speaking over you, so I apologize.
It's all good.
I hope it works for you guys when you guys do your peer reviews. It's gonna be a real one-sided conversation.
Oh yeah, the Nike one is cool. I like that. I'm just now looking at the one you got talking about. You and Brianna. Okay, you guys said y'all ready for question 2?
All right, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Ready. Alright, here we go. Question 2.
Oh.
You want to read it?
Somebody who can I found it. Alright, so find one outside example of motion discussed in the class. So it's the motion graphic, cinemagraph, motion poster, and discuss how this example is used in the real world and how the style of motion is used to engage the audience. This one I have links for. This one is actually funny. Like a month before, like 2 months. No, it was Easter. That's what it was. My church had made one, but I was just so memorized by it. Like I just couldn't. Like I just. Hold on, let me send the link. Do we all have Facebook?
Yeah, I have Facebook.
Yeah, I'd have it.
Okay, now. Okay.
All right.
Now you can hear me? I don't think so.
I don't think so. But this is the one my church used, and it was for Easter. But it's very, very simple, nothing too fancy. But it's just like straight to the point. But it's just like very like engaging with the audience. If you guys watch it, you'll see what I mean.
Okay, this is nice.
Yeah, I saw the video and I was like, I want to learn how to do that. And then this class was like, bam. I was like, oh, okay.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh no. Alright, so okay, so Brian can only hear Jared.
Yeah, I can hear.
Oh, now I can hear Brianna.
Oh, okay.
hey.
Maybe it's the face cam. All right, wait, hold on. Maybe it's
Now
the
I
face-
can hear all of y'all, and I feel like
Okay.
You know, maybe like the face cam was using like too much for like the Wi-Fi, and it was just.
yeah, I don't know.
Sounds
Oh,
funny.
it's all good. It's all good.
Okay.
Y'all are funny.
It's a struggle.
I just watched the video, Kenny. That was a nice clean cut video.
Yeah.
Yes. See, Kenny, you got me on Facebook, and people sending friend requests. I don't even know who these people are. I need to get out of here. But no, that was a nice video. I'm trying to pull up some links or something that I can show you guys what I'm speaking of. I'm gonna try to find some while we're on here. But two examples that I noticed like that are used every day in the real world would be like a motion flyer. I noticed sometimes on Instagram, like nowadays, like guys might be promoting parties or an event, and they have a whole motion flyer, like the flyer is actually moving. I think that's pretty cool. Kind of similar to my week 3 post that I made. So it's kind of similar to that. And then also, I guess it'd be similar to what you just posted. Like they use a lot of motion graphics like in After Effects of like the football games and basketball games, like on the LED ribbons, or like on the mega columns, or when they're bringing in players or whatever. They always have some type of motion graphic that's associated with it. But I'm finna try to see if I can pull up a video from work and post it in the chat so y'all can see what I'm talking about.
All right. Jasmine and Brianne, did you have anything to add on?
This
Yeah.
is. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brianna.
It's all good. Not used to you responding to me. So. Okay. Let's see. I chose, I guess, how is it structured? An example of motion. I use the Parallax 3D or 2.5D or whatever it is image. And so that was kind of like, it was kind of like a cinematograph, but you made like the landscape move differently than the rest of the image. So that was a little bit, yeah, I heard it.
Oh my God, I'm trying to watch.
Oh, that was the oven.
Okay. No, I used that image to kind of simulate for my week 3 project. So I kind of used it to simulate the audience walking down the street. So it kind of zooms in on the image that I use. I'm going to link it. Let me see if I can find it. And then the sky also moves with it. So it seems like I don't know what that is. It kind of seems like you are moving with the image. So I don't know. I think that's a pretty useful method because it's a little bit of a different motion graphic, and it allows allows the audience, or allows the designer to put the audience in their shoes as they're like walking down. So I thought that was a pretty effective way to use that.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find the image here that I used.
Okay, I see what you mean. I never really thought about putting the audience in the person's shoes, like walking like that or anything.
Yeah.
That's very creative from that part. Because I'm used to seeing like the 2.5D just for landscapes or like that one Instagram model post, but yeah, that's different.
Exactly. That's why, like, when I saw this, and I've seen like a lot of them have, I put the image that I use, but I've seen a lot of people that like use the landscape and make like the clouds move or something like that. So the clouds are moving along, but you are also being zoomed in as that was going along too. So that was kind of cool to like simulate as if you're walking down for my community or my neighborhood that I was doing. So that's like one effective way, I guess, I was trying to do it.
Yeah, it came out pretty good too.
Ah, thanks.
All right, my turn, I assume. So
we'll go to you,
all right, so,
Jasmine, then we'll wrap up with Jared and this link.
Okay, so we are discussing our category, I guess, a motion graphic, right? Is that where we are?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I chose kinetic typography because I just feel like it just catches my attention every time I see it, no matter what I'm looking at, no matter what it's about. If I see words and colors moving, it has my attention. So I see it. I've seen it the most in like Ford and like car commercials, but I know Ford did it for the Silverado truck as he rode through the rocks. The words were moving. I thought it was super catchy. But my example is a Coca-Cola commercial, and I'm gonna send a link to you guys now because I'm copying it. But again, it just catches your attention. It grabs the viewer in. It makes you want to learn more about it. And I just think it's really good in branding because people just like to be engaged. So kinetic typography does a good version or a good, I'm trying to say, they do a good job at just grabbing your attention for any company when it comes to branding. So no matter it's clothes, shoes, a community center, I just think it's just something good that, people can connect to. So it's my favorite. I'm still learning how to do it.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that goes involved in kinetic typography. I mean, it seems like it's so easy to do sometimes, but when you actually work with After Effects, you're just like, how in the world do they do that so easily? Yeah, exactly. That program is so big and there's so much you can do with it, and it's just
get on YouTube, watch a couple videos. No. It was 11 o'clock.
You literally have to have it like step by step. You have to have like 2 screens, one tutorial, one like you're just trying to do it. You have to rewind a couple different times.
Exactly.
Yep.
And there.
Well, I thought I'm the only one. Okay. I got YouTube open. I got lynda.com open. I am just everything.
Got my phone on, got the iPad, like every device. Yeah.
All right.
I agree. I'm gonna send a link to you guys now for an example.
Yeah, but I agree with kinetic typography. It's my favorite too. That's why I like the link I sent with my church. It's so simple. Like it's a very simple thing, but like it has stayed with me for the longest time. And I'm like, how did they make it? Or like the music choice that goes into it too. That's another important thing for typography, like the music choice.
That's true. That's very true. I didn't even realize, just with doing research this class, that a lot of old movies did kinetic typography. I would have never even paid attention to it. Just seeing movies from the 70s introducing it. I mean, we wouldn't have known what it is probably or for me prior to this class, but it's just crazy to see how long it's been being used in animation and stuff. So something good to learn for sure.
The link I just posted is not one that I wanted, that I was trying to find at the mega column in the stadium. It's one, it shows like all the Falcons games for the season, but you can see like a lot of the motion graphics, how they like basically made the stadium, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, into like a cartoon image. And it just goes from each city showing who we're playing. So that's kind of my little example of the different motion graphics that I get to see on the daily.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Are you watching it?
It's Game of Thrones. I
shared this.
Yeah, it's totally Game of Thrones. It's so cool though.
That is cool.
Okay.
So I actually work in the department where they make this stuff.
Okay, cool.
So I'm like all the full-timers, all the people that get salary, they're the ones that get to make this stuff and have their names out there. I just got promoted to part-time. I was freelance game day staff at first, like during Camera Grip. So now I get to do engineering. So I be trying to shadow them and see what all they do. I can learn more. Those guys, they're beasts.
That's really good though.
They could collab all day and be making excuse to get together. Just sitting in the door like, hey.
That's funny that you work at that stadium. I work at the 49ers stadium part-time.
Oh, that's cool. How do you like it there?
It's cool. It was really cool when it first came out. It was like super new and like it's supposed to be like the most advanced stadium, and now it's kind of like I think there's 2 now that are bigger and better than it. So we're kind of old news has been.
I know once I think it's whatever the stadium opened up in California, right? Or is it Arizona?
Yeah, it's the 49ers is Santa Clara.
Yeah, so they're supposed to be the newest one.
Oh, the new one that's opening up?
I don't know if it's opening up now, but I know it's soon.
Yeah,
Okay.
there is one that's coming up. I don't remember when though.
And then I guess they'll be bragging about
Yeah.
having the art equipment and all that stuff.
I went to the AT&T Stadium one time, and like that blew my mind. So if there's newer stuff, like I can't handle that. All right. Wait. So Jasmine, is this the Coca-Cola link for your?
Yeah, that's just the one example that I had readily available.
86,
Probably not my favorite, but you know, it grabbed your attention, of course, because the colors and it's Coca-Cola.
Scholarships.
Well, and the use of
Like
text
early
though is
birds.
pretty cool too. Like,
Yeah.
and this one is more so doable
to enjoy
once you figure
what
out like
matters
what they're
most.
doing in the camera angles.
Coca-Cola.
It looks a lot more complicated, but once you figure out like what they're doing, they're just like shifting where the camera is, and you're like, oh my god, that's just so easy.
You want to know what's funny? I always reference to these Coca-Cola ads, and I'm like, I have to learn how to work After Effects so my videos can look more commercial or, like corporate. And then people like what you talking about, like people that don't know like about media or production and stuff. What are you talking about? Like, like those Coca-Cola ads. So I thought it was funny that you posted it. It's like,
Because Coca's always a go-to. Like, some billions on ads. And they're right here in Atlanta, too, so.
Have you been to the new Coca-Cola factory yet?
I have not, no. I was going to go, but it was too packed when I was down there, so I did not. We went to the CNN Center. It's just always so packed down there. And, yeah.
I've never been. It's like you got to plan like a month ahead or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's Georgia, period. It's overpopulated.
All right. Did you guys have any more examples you wanted to show or anything?
I did it.
I think I'm good.
All right. I only have one more, but I don't know if you guys heard of it. But it's like the mental health hotline. It's just like it's an old video.
I've never seen it, but I heard of a hotline before.
Let me see. This one is just it's a short funny video, but it's it's a good example, and it's just I've always it's always interesting on the camera angles on what they did or how they did it, because it was like a 10-year-old video, so I was like, what did they do?
Oh yeah, this is the camera movement one. It's cool.
Hello and welcome to the Mental Health Hotline. If you are obsessive compulsive, press 1.
That's fine.
How old did you say this was?
I think it's about 10 years.
Yeah,
It looks older. Yeah.
Oh wow! So they've been using this type of stuff for a while.
Yeah, for a while. Obviously, it's gotten a lot smoother,
Hello and welcome
but
to the
yeah.
Mental Health Hotline. If you
It's
are
cool. It's
obsessive
kind of
compulsive,
like the
Where
birth
did
of
this
this type.
spaceship come from?
That's cool. Nice.
Yeah,
That's a good
that's
example.
That is cool. But you could definitely see, I guess, the progression over the time from this.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, the progression gets a lot better. And then I was for this assignment, I was looking like for examples and stuff. And I found like a lot of music videos, and I was like, okay, I see how this gets better over time. Like especially what's the band, Imagine Dragons, or what's his name?
Bruno Mars has a good one, too.
Oh yeah, Bruno Mars. I think there's a DJ called Marshmello or like Marvin Gavix. He has a new video out, but I can't imagine like the editing on that. Like, all right. So if we don't have any more examples we wanted to showcase to talk about, should we go to the next question?
Sure.
All right. Let me pull up the link. Next question. Discuss your story journal and how keeping a story journal has helped you think about narrative and the use of narrative in design?
The story journal helped me a lot unexpectedly. But at first, I'm like, story journal? I gotta write down everything that I've been doing. And so, after I started writing, like I'll be at work, so I just started writing stuff. And then as I'm writing, it's like the stuff that I'm dealing with day to day, like even outside of the project, I could relate it to like the theme of my project, if that makes sense. So like my main theme was reassuring, you know, the client that this is a place that you can call home. So I was dealing with issues and stuff at work where, as I'm like jotting in my story journal, I'm like, wait a minute. At this moment, I was reassured that this or that. You know what I'm saying? I was able to relate my theme with my day-to-day life. And I thought that was something pretty cool to gain from a story journal. I wouldn't think I'd come up with something like that from a story journal.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, I agree. Go ahead, Kendall.
So, okay, yeah. For me, I have a journal and I use it like on and off. But I never thought about like writing stuff down like narratively and how like I look at the world. So like one of my journal entries, I went to Ruidoso. It's like how to explain it? It's a tourist town, but it's like in the forest and the mountains and like nature and all that, like for a picture. But I'm personally colorblind. I'm reds and greens are my things. So while I was looking at there, I was thinking like, well, how would this world look? How would like if I made a logo for someone for Ruidoso, how would it look like? How would my perception of it be different from someone else's? And I started like thinking like, well, what are like famous painters like Michelangelo or stuff like that? Like how would they have painted if they were colorblind? Like what, like just a slight little detail. So it got me thinking about like different things, and it really helped me like jot down ideas and express. Because like if I write like a little creative idea, I'm like, all right, so I make this logo for my town. Well, how would it look like? Let me get my ruler out. Let me make a little like measurement and adjustment, you know. And then the next thing I know, I have a full blown like little mini logo on my story journal, and it really helps like get the like creative juices flowing for me. I'm like in the back like furiously like writing. My mom's like, "What are you doing?" I'm writing a story journal.
That's pretty cool. My story journal, was really random. So you guys sound like yours is a lot structured. I was really writing down things that I might have noticed on my way to work, like how buildings are shaped. People complaining in the gas station. It's the gas station over here that's always packed. So people are complaining about the price. This was also the area I focused on for my project. So it was good just kind of grabbing just like conversations. What else was I doing?
Day-to-day stuff.
Yeah, just day-to-day stuff. And it was me also thinking about even music I was listening to and how it was shaping, like, I guess my ideas for design, because all that kind of matters to me. Like listening to either hip-hop or something soft. It can change how I might design for the day or my mood towards designing if I don't have the energy to do it. But my journal was really random, but I did still think that it helped me because it helped me to at least get ideas out of my mind and on paper. And it's something I've never done before. I mean, I've kept a journal, of course, but it wasn't about design. It was more so just like, you know, interpersonal thoughts and stuff like that. So it's probably something I'll continue to do as I build my design career.
Okay. I think I'm probably going to continue to do that too.
I actually, like, before the class, I would always carry around a little sketchbook and I would like sketch things. So this is kind of what it like reminded me when he asked us to do a story journal. I mean, I have like probably stacks on stacks of journals as a kid, like from like not even that old, like 4th grade to like end of high school, like so many journals. Like I'm typical girl, just like wrote in my journal and my diary all the time. So I like go back to like look at 8th grade and what was I worrying about on June 28th of like 1990 something, and it's just so funny to see the difference from this journal to like that journal. So like the journals for this course for me was more of like, it's very similar to Jasmine. It's just like random stuff that I would see, like stuff at work that was happening, stuff at work that I didn't like, stuff with my dogs or like my roommates and stuff like that. Just little things like that. But I don't think I necessarily really got a lot of story kernels for design. It was more kind of like reflecting on how I was feeling. So I don't know if I was like doing it the right way or how it was intended to be. So I don't know. I didn't. It's cool that Jared, you were able to get something out of it too. That's pretty cool. But I feel like for me, like it didn't really like generate any like creative story ideas, you know. So.
And I feel like I'm feeling the same way. Like, am I doing this the right way?
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe like on different projects, maybe some we might gain from it, maybe some we might not. I think maybe I don't know. Maybe on the next project. Maybe we try, like, oh, well, maybe this helped me, or maybe, it still doesn't help me, right?
Yeah, I think I might, like, keep up, like, a journal, but, like, not, like, during the day, but, like, during the end of the day. I feel like having it in the middle of the day was kind of, like, it was more like homework for me. It was more of a hassle, like, oh, yeah, I have to do this so I can do my project on Sunday and stuff like that. But when you're doing it, like, subconsciously, like, you're in a routine, you do it, like, every night or whatever, I feel like that'll be, like, a more natural and authentic thing. So.
That's great. I like that you said that because now that I'm thinking, you are able to relax and release more, at the end of the day after you just like, oh, I'm done.
Right.
You can really put your real thoughts instead of just coming up with stuff like, let me just write
right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, pressure on that Sunday.
Yeah, I know. It's like you're recording every thing every hour on Sunday. Okay, what's happening around me? Just like waiting for something to happen.
Yeah. Just make sure to do 11:59.
Exactly.
Not taking from experience at all. Just hypothetically.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. That covers all of our questions. But besides that, though, because I really don't get to connect with any of y'all. I've been seeing y'all since the beginning of the program.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, how do y'all feel? Like, I know we're sending this in to turn in, but just like, how do you guys feel so far? We're moving on to month 7.
Yeah.
Like, how do y'all feel? Do y'all feel good? Do y'all feel overwhelmed? I know it's a lot.
It is a lot, but I feel like we should have had some sort of like group connection, definitely month 1, month 2, where you got to connect with your peers, because like nobody just wants to like reach out and be like, hey, what's going on? How's it going?
That's true.
Yeah.
I've been thought to reach out to you, Jasmine, because I seen I was like, wait a minute. She lives in Stonecrest. I'm like, it's pretty much the same area as me, because they did a divide now. They turned half of Lithonia.
Yeah. And I actually stay in Lithonia, but I chose Stonecrest because that's literally like a few streets away. You know what I mean? So
where do you like? I ain't gonna ask where you stay. Like, I
just
like,
my
let me have your address, though.
Right. Send me a location.
You said what now?
No, I live right by Lithonia High School.
I live literally. I stay right across the street from the Walmart on Panola. Like, I live next door to the Pizza.
Yeah, we're next. Yeah.
We like less than 10 minutes away. That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. That is crazy. But I mean, that's good to know because we can definitely connect.
Yes.
We in this together.
It was some classes where I was like, I need to ask her like.
I'm just winging it. Listen, I'm winging it. I jumped off a cliff starting school, so yeah.
Man, I be feeling like I don't know. It's different, like outside of undergrad, because like with your bachelor's, you can party all night, stay up, do whatever for the work, and get your work done. But this is like I'm working for real, like trying to breaking my career and pay these bills. Oh my God. And then it's like, we might be working 10, 12 hours. I'm like, for example, I got a chance to work be a camera grip utility for a Sunday Best show. So they brought it back for season 9. Yeah. So they was in there like 10, 12 hours. And I'm like, I need this, to, learn what it takes to actually get another TV gig or something. I'm a rookie out here. So it's like, I don't want to jeopardize school, but it's like, dang, I need this money and I need experience.
Yeah.
So, it has been overwhelming, but like you said, been winging it, making it through. So now I gotta find that balance, like a time management, because I'm like you said, you got a daughter and everything. I'm like, most people might have kids. They might.
Yeah, props to you, dude, Jasmine. But I don't know how you do that.
You the bomb, my girl.
I don't even know either. When I tell y'all, I mean, I work full time. It's just
that's why when you said, I'm like, I know she got a lot more. I can't perform.
That's why when I get my grades, I be like, oh, because like not saying that I'm falling, but I just be like, you know, some days I just, man, it's tough, but I mean, we making it, and I think about that. I think about I started, so I have to finish. You know, we got to get through it.
We're so close, man.
We're halfway through
4
that.
more months, really.
Yeah, I called my student advisor, and like our graduation date should be like December like 12th or something, or 20th.
Yeah, I've already.
It's on the 20th. It's not even like the end.
No, December 20th. So our last class is December 22nd. I got all the info, y'all. Last class is December 22nd, but they said they don't know how. I guess the teacher is gonna do the last assignment with graduation being before the end of the class day. So we'll probably turn everything in before that.
I'm sure.
You guys gonna go down and walk?
I'm going.
For that, the teacher will send a note saying like they expect you to graduate.
Oh.
So like if you have like a C minus, or that last grade is for like 75%, yeah, they're like, oh, he's gonna pass it, then yeah, they'll let you go through. But
so do they do graduations every month? Because you know you can start like at any month. They do?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I saw it on the.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've been going to Folsom for like 3 years. I got my undergrad there, and I went in November. Yeah, for my graduation. And then my mom, she got 2 degrees there, but we went to her graduations there. But yeah, every month they have graduations, and they have the students run it.
They put on a graduation every month. Jeez.
Well, it's
what's the minimum amount of people like that are gonna go?
True.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, the thing is, it's a show, and like the show like production runs it. So if you're in a cinematography, it's like, all right, you're gonna run the camera for the graduation. It's like kind of like their group project. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, so it gives them their experience. That's pretty dope.
Yeah. And it's
the attended it, like been on campus. But I was like, I just moved back from Savannah, from going to school down there. I'm like, dang, I can't just leave again.
You went to Savannah State?
Yep, I sure did.
Savannah State.
Oh man.
Yeah. What did you go to Full for undergrad?
I got my bachelor's in entertainment business. So yeah, a lot of reading and a lot of laws and stuff like that. But it was good. I like my end game is like to be an actor. That's my goal. So I got like entertainment business to learn stuff like behind the camera, like copyright laws and stuff like that. How to promote yourself and marketing and like different audience metrics. And then I got like my media design for kind of like a backup and kind of like cause like for an actor it's kind of like designer, like you're kind of like gig to gig. So like between jobs or between shows, especially like during the summer, shows take like a hiatus, like kind of take a break to the next season. This was like kind of fill in the gap for there.
Okay.
So if you guys are ever in Texas, swing on by.
I've never been to Texas. I want to come. Never been to Cali, Brianna. So invite me.
Yeah, come over.
Just awesome over there.
What part of Texas are you in?
I'm in El Paso, Texas. I'm in the little, Texas, like the L shape. I'm the little dot right here next to New Mexico.
So how far is that from, if I'm pronouncing it right, Killeen, Texas?
Killeen, Texas? Like 13 hours? Like, yeah, Texas is stupid big.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we're close.
Same with
Like,
Cali.
where I live is like closer to LA. It takes about like 7 to 8 hours to get to LA, and then like to Dallas,
Yeah.
it's like
It
10.
seems like 6 hours to get to LA. And I'm in the same
Really?
state.
That's
Oh,
so crazy.
Or are you like in Sacramento, or where are you at?
San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
That's cool. I always said I wanted to go to Cali for my birthday this year in August. I go up in the mountains and I go and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know Cali either.
Yeah, I'm scared, like a bear might come and get me.
Okay, there's no problem.
Before my hard drive blows up, do we have any more questions we want to talk about? So to like end the screen recording or no?
Yeah, we can cut that. I think we got all the academic stuff out the way.
Okie dokie. All right, this is ending screen recording.